I promised you guys a rant video, so here it is. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Fit Pip. If you don't know already, my name is Lauren. I make videos about health, fitness, recipe videos, vegan recipe videos, mental health, and just general vlogs about my super fun life. Just kidding, I'm really not that fun. So if you can't already tell by the title, today's video may be a little bit controversial, but it's something that I've been wanting to talk about for a while because it's just been bubbling up inside me, the anger, and it just wants to come out. So in the interest of not going off on 1,000,001 different tangents and just getting a bit too carried away with the aggression, I'm going to talk about this in two different parts. And just before I get into it, I just wanted to say or preface the video by saying that I think it's amazing that veganism is growing at the rate it's growing. I think it's brilliant that more people are going vegan or at least trying out a more plant-based diet. But as with any growing movement, I think we've run into some pitfalls and we're kind of making really some biggish mistakes along the way. So that is what I wanted to talk to you about today. This whole video, this is my opinion. It's what I think, it's what I believe. If you disagree, that is totally fine. Just put it in the comment section down below. I would love to have a chat with you about it and see what you think. So, what's my problem? Why on earth am I, a vegan, saying, "Vegans, why are you so annoying?" My first massive problem is vegans hating on non-vegans. Now, for the purpose of this video, I'm talking about what I see online, on social media, not necessarily in person because I don't really come into contact with people who give me shit for being vegan very often. But online is a whole nother story. I follow a lot of vegan YouTubers, but I also follow a lot of non-vegan YouTubers. I'm in the fitness industry, so I follow a lot of fitness YouTubers or fitness Instagrammers. And whilst it's brilliant that veganism is this growing movement, it seems there's also a growing trend for aggressively going at people who aren't vegan. And don't get me wrong, they might be trying to be vegan, they might be adding in more plant-based meals and sort of admitting to that, but man alive, is anyone terrified actually to admit to their viewers nowadays that they're trying to go vegan? And I totally understand why. Now, hold up. Don't get mad yet, I'm going to explain. I've been vegan now for a good few years and I totally understand that you have this annoyance, you know, once you make the connection between the sort of hypocrisy of loving animals but eating them, you can't understand why, one, the other people don't see it, and two, why they don't want to see it. No! But you know what? Unless you've been vegan since birth, you probably were there before, where these people are, you know? You were probably in that phase where, well, I can speak for myself. Before I was vegan, I was vegetarian, and I've always loved animals, you know? I can't stand to see animals in pain. I love animals, but I didn't put those two things together, the whole eating animals, or at least eating dairy, and loving animals. I just didn't get it. So I can totally see where these people are on their journey. They're just not where you or I are at yet. And that's not me saying I'm better than them or I'm ahead of them. I'm just talking about, you know, the understanding of eating animals and loving them at the same time. So Lauren, get to the point. What the fuck are you so mad about? So, like I said, I follow a lot of fitness YouTubers and I'm just gonna give you one example, but there are hundreds of them probably because I can't see all of them. I was watching quite a big fitness YouTuber's video the other day, and I won't say who it was, but she just mentioned in her video that she loved animals. It was just a throwaway comment. Just in the middle of the video, she said something about loving animals. And predictably, I had a little scroll through the comments, and there it was at the top, because obviously it meant that everyone had a discussion about it and it had lots of likes and dislikes and controversy within the comment section. There it was, clear as day. You can't say you love animals and eat them. Don't you understand? That's so hypocritical. And all the comments below, or a lot of the comments below, were from other vegans jumping in on this and saying, exactly, I hate how people do that. Da-da-da-da-da-da. You can't say you love animals and eat what you're eating in this video. Don't you understand how awful the dairy industry is? How awful the meat industry is? Now, obviously, I can see it from that side. I know what it's like. I know that, like I said before, you make this connection and you just want everyone else to know and to care. But you know, aggressively going at non-vegans for not being vegan is just a surefire way to give the vegan movement another bad stereotype. As is giving people shit for trying veganism or trying a plant-based diet and telling them they're not doing well enough. So like I said, there are quite a few people in the fitness industry going sort of more towards a plant-based diet nowadays. I can see it happening all over the place and it's wicked, it's great. Because ultimately, if we haven't forgotten, the whole point is trying to encourage people to eat more plants and less animals, because a fully vegan world is not going to happen overnight. Hell, it may never happen, but you know what? The whole aim is less cruelty to animals. And without totally going off point, I just want to say separately that not everyone goes vegan for the animals, and you have to be okay with that. If you went vegan for the animals, that's brilliant, and probably you'll stay vegan forever because you've made that emotional connection. But some people eat more plant-based for the environment, some people eat more plant-based for health, and you have to be okay with that. You can't force someone to feel the same way that you do. We're all wired differently, we all have different, well, everything's, we're all just different. So just understand that your reasons for going vegan may not be someone else's reasons for going vegan. Okay, don't get carried away, get back to the point. So yes, long story short, a lot of fitness or any other type of influencers, if you want to call them, are going more plant-based, and I again see this trend happening where they do something, so maybe they announce on their channel, God forbid they announce on their channel that they're trying to be vegan or trying to be more plant-based, because whoa, just wait for the hate. They announce that they're trying to eat more plant-based, and they have a whole day of eating where they eat pretty much really well, but they make a couple of mistakes along the way, or not even mistakes, they actively choose to eat eggs or to have a whey protein shake or something like that, and again, vegans just jump down their throats. And it's often quite sort of intense. It's not just, oh, did you know that whey protein is not that good for you? Or just, you know, whey protein isn't vegan, I drink this vegan protein shake and I think it's great and I haven't had any issues with it. That would be sort of a helpful comment. But no, it's, you said you were going to try and go vegan, you're eating a whey protein shake or drinking a whey protein shake. Don't you know that dairy calves are ripped off their mothers within hours of the mothers giving birth to them? Don't you know that all male calves are killed because they don't work in the dairy industry? And while I'm not saying that that's not true, because obviously I've done my research, I just don't think it's a helpful way to go about things, especially not on a channel that is not a vegan channel. Because whilst yes, you might capture someone's attention by that, and you might get them onto the road to thinking about going vegan. But if you're on a channel where most people aren't vegan and are slightly in the maybe defensive phase, all that's gonna do is turn them off veganism. Because, you know, the last thing vegans need to be doing is perpetuating the stereotype that we're all angry and we're all aggressive and we're in some sort of privileged cult where you have to be 100% there or you're not allowed in. As usual, I feel like I may have talked for Britain there, so should we just do the cliff notes of point number 1? Don't attack people who aren't vegan for not knowing that they're doing something wrong. Don't judge people because they're at a different point in their journey to you. Try to make helpful comments instead of just aggressively attacking someone who's trying to make a positive difference in their lives or to the world or the environment or the animals. And number 4, realize that different people have different reasons for going vegan, and whilst you might have made a connection because of the animals, it doesn't make someone a bad person because they care about the environment first and foremost. Okay, for those of you who are still with me, thank you. Let's get on to point 2. You may want to grab yourself an almond milk latte or a chai tea because, you know, judging by the first point, I might ramble a bit. So my second point is basically a continuation of my first point, but as opposed to vegans attacking non-vegans online, this is all about vegans attacking other vegans online. What? Why the fuck would you do that? Well, that's a very good question, isn't it? Why would you do that? Why would you attack someone who is essentially on your team? And the only explanation for that I have is, I guess we live in a world nowadays where perfectionism is the ultimate thing. And basically, I don't know, people just like to hate, I suppose, online, isn't it? Social media is the place where you can hide behind a keyboard and you can just take out your pent-up emotions on people online and not really suffer any consequences from it. And not only that, I suppose maybe there is some elitistness, that's not even a word, but you know what I mean. Maybe there is some of that within the vegan community where people just feel like, I don't know, you just have to do better, always have to do better. And if you make a mistake, ooh, watch out, the vegan police will be on your ass. So yes, whilst I watch a lot of non-vegan YouTubers and follow them on social media, I obviously, because I am vegan, follow a lot of vegan YouTubers and vegan social media influencers. And again, this is something I see all the time, and it's really freaking aggravating. Basically, nowadays, it's not good enough to be vegan. If you're a vegan, but you're still using plastic, what the fuck are you doing? Get out of the club. If you're a vegan, but you're not zero waste, you. And if you're a vegan and you are all these things, but you still travel on airplanes and drive a car, then you don't know what the f you're doing. And I'm sorry to swear and use bad language. Actually, I'm not. What am I talking about? I always swear and use bad language. But at the same time, yeah, it just really irritates me that people feel the need to just get on someone's back when they're already doing something that you inherently agree with. Now, yes, in an ideal world, we would all be conscious about all the things that are going wrong on the planet. And if you are vegan, I suppose, yeah, you should make the connection between the environment and all this stuff and moving towards a more minimal waste approach and maybe not taking so many trips abroad and not using petrol. That should be something that's within your thoughts. But you know what? It's 2017 and we have to enjoy our lives. Like, there's no point in being vegan and being really unhappy about it. And like I said previously, we're all on a journey. I've been vegan for a really long time now, and first I went dietarily vegan, and then I made the connection between cruelty-free products and that sort of thing. So I was vegan with my diet, and then I went vegan and cruelty-free with all my products and things like that. Now, only just now, after like 6 years, am I sort of understanding a bit more about minimalist living and not using so much plastic, but I am nowhere near there yet. But you know what? Just like before, hating on someone who's on a journey is just not the right way to go about it, in my opinion. If someone is putting themselves out there online and they are trying to better their lives and better the planet and just make a positive impact somehow, why do you think it's the right thing to do to aggressively hate on them for doing so? It's basically impossible nowadays to be 100% vegan. I think we all know that now. You might walk along the street and step on an ant. Or you might forget your keep cup one day, but you really, really want a coffee. So you get one in a non-recyclable, non-compostable cup. But you know what? You're still trying your best, and that's the whole point, isn't it? I think I should probably round this up now before I get too carried away, and I've probably lost at least half of you by now. But the whole point should be trying. It should be aiming to do as little as you can to put a footprint on the planet. And again, if we're all hating on each other and vegans are going at other vegans, can you imagine what that looks like to non-vegans? Again, they're just gonna be like, I do not want to be a part of that. We should be inclusive and trying to encourage people to go vegan or go more plant-based, or just trying to positively impact people and positively let them know about the impacts that they're having on the world if they're having a slightly negative impact. I always say to people, and it may sound a little cliche, but I always say to people, what is the point in being a vegan that loves animals but hates human beings? Yes, it's super hard to see all the cruelty that happens in the world, and of course it is, and there's more documentaries nowadays and more footage available to see how terrible these things are. And I get that, and I get emotional about it, and it upsets me. But it also upsets me when humans treat other humans badly. And ultimately, yes, you might have slightly better points on your moral compass if you go vegan and you care about the animals and you care about the planet. But in my opinion, you're just not really doing as much for the vegan movement if you just hate other human beings. I think we all just need to remember why we're vegan in the first place, and that's to try and make the planet a better place. And I just truly believe that if your intention is always good and comes from a loving place, then you're probably going to have more success changing someone's mind or getting into their heads a bit than if you go at it from an aggressive point of view. Some people, yes, maybe they deal well with aggression, and maybe that's the way that you're going to change their mind. But like I said before, I think that you'll probably turn a lot of other people off by doing that. And ultimately, like I said in the beginning, this is just my opinion. I can't tell you what to do, and you may totally disagree with me, but it's just been building up inside of me. Every time I read a comment that comes from an aggressive place or an angry place or just from a place of ego, it really bugs me, and I don't want this vegan movement to turn into something negative. But like I said before, I really don't want that stereotype of the angry vegan and the sort of elitist vegan to become a thing. We want as many people to go vegan or more plant-based as possible. And I just really think that the best way to do that is from a loving, kind place. And that might be cliche, and I'm now perpetuating the stereotype of the hippie all-love vegan. But you know what? We should all be all love. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up right about now. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've stuck with me all the way through the video until now, then thank you so much. If you did like the video, make sure to press that little like thumbs up. And if you're not yet already, subscribe. And I will see you in the next video.